like is subjective. What kind of subjective? I've seen atheists like myself who say all different stuff about morality.
Um, okay. Like, do you have a question? I don't know what I'm supposed to tell you.
Yeah, okay. I'll tell you my take on morality. Tell me if you know can agree with it. So I believe that morality is subjective, and it really matters if it's socially accepted. So, for example, in the truth, 2,000 years ago, execution was accepted because that's a sign of dominance, and that was accepted. But now it's not. You know what I mean?
Um, I don't think that's really a good description of why people did executions. The funny
No,
enough,
I'm talking about public execution where you
yeah, I
should
know.
for something dumb like stealing a loaf of bread or uh, going against the emperor. That's what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah, I guess you could say they thought that if you do that, then that'll put fear into people to not break the laws of whoever is ruling or whatever. But there were a
Yeah,
lot
and
of I wrote a book. It's called Facts That Aren't True, and there's this really interesting piece in there. Some stuff I researched, like in the UK, or maybe it was just England. It was a long. It was like it was during the time of Henry VIII, so it wasn't called the United Kingdom back then. But anyways, um, they had over 200 justifications for capital punishment for the death penalty. And it's like, how do you even come up with 200 reasons to kill somebody? I mean, like if you're, I don't believe in the death penalty, but if somebody was going to have a death penalty, I could understand death for uh, a death penalty for murder, conspiracy to commit murder, terrorism, conspiracy to commit terrorism, but that's about it, right? And now the only way they were able to expand to that many was they came up with a lot of really stupid religious justifications for it. So if you, because there have been, there continue to be, whatever, all these like theological explanations for like the why this particular aspect of human nature is tied with godliness or what is good or whatever. So they would execute you for marrying a Jew, for example. Well, you have betrayed Christ by marrying somebody who is Jewish, right? There were actually a lot of them that had to do with Jews. One of the reasons you could get the death penalty was living near gypsies. I'm not kidding. That was actually one of the reasons
What?
for it. So yeah, no, I'm not shitting you. Buy the book, Facts That Aren't True, available on my store, on my Shopify page. So yeah, so like I actually think, and now I don't remember exactly how we got here, but the point I was going to try to make was, if you want to come up with a huge number of reasons to engage in capital punishment, declare that you have the ultimate authority on morality from the ultimate source, which is God, and then any betrayal of that is a crime against God or whatever, and so that could justify death. Again, I don't remember
I
exactly
mean,
why
yeah,
I got
that
on
that
this
wasn't
train of
my
thought, but go
point.
ahead.
That wasn't my point, but my point was basically that the moral stains. If the moral is you can grape someone, if all of society believes that, you're gonna be uh, socially pressured into believing that as well. You're not gonna think otherwise because that's the standard. Same in every timeline.
Oh,
As you
right,
was
because you
giving
said
example.
the reason they had death penalty for stealing was because back then there was like a
Yeah,
moral
and it was
relativist lens. Yeah,
accepted.
yeah.
It was accepted as a thing.
Not really, actually.
I mean, no, I gave a bad example actually, but like smurdering someone for your country or smurdering people, children, pillaging villages during war. That was accepted. Right now, it's not. So moral stains. That's my point, or how we see them.
Um, damn, I don't know. My book doesn't have an index, unfortunately, so I'm not. Oh man, I don't know if I'm going to be able to find it. But there's actually some in that part I was talking about. Some of the research I looked into was really interesting. It goes over. Fuck, I don't remember where I'm going to find it. I think I might be able to find it in Discord somewhere. But
You know, Detective Clues. That's like my favorite childhood book.
no.
Never mind.
But anyways, what they found was this whole argument you're giving about like, oh, it was okay for that time and it was accepted. It really actually wasn't. There's this really cool graph. I would pull it up, but I don't remember the source. But what they found was it was for all of the all those like what's the word, like all those unjust added reasons, like copious reasons for the death penalty in England. And there's this really cool graph in there where it shows the execution rate throughout the Kingdom of England, and it basically just shows the main British Isle. And what you find is it's super dense right over London, and then it gets progressively the rate of execution gets progressively weaker from there. And up in Scotland, the rate is like a tenth, maybe a hundredth what it is in that ruling center. So actually, the people, by and large, completely rejected it. It really wasn't. It was normalized, but it was normalized by force, by the monarchy, right?
Yeah, that
And so,
was
and like
my
you would
point.
have people that would accept it, but in general, no, people do not accept that.
Yeah, that was my point. I just made a bad example, but my point was like, if something is socially accepted, even if you may see it as bad, um, more change over time. I'm gonna give a better example now. When someone in an empire, when he conquered a land, the people of that land would sometimes, well, I'm gonna Alexander the Great. You know him. Uh, when he
Yeah.
conquered most of the land that he did, the people of that conquered land actually were happy and, etc. being conquered. I mean, that they were fine. You wouldn't be fine today, You wouldn't be fine for smearing or pillaging a village for war. You wouldn't be fine with that in 2025,
Right.
Whilst
Yeah, the whole idea
making
of
the
like
empire bigger.
they get conquered, but then they become part of the empire and they get the protectorate of the empire, and so it actually,
And they learn
in
the
some
cultures,
ways, it
the
made them
different
better.
history.
Yeah, I'm aware of the arguments for that. In addition to autographed copies of both my books and, of course, Spanky, I'm excited to announce that I now have stickers, tumblers, apparel, and more on my store. Take Spanky, the God-defeating penguin, and can you put that into a logical syllogism, with you wherever you go now.
Yeah, and and back then again, making an empire, making your country better, making it bigger, even if you have to murder people, they thought that was fine,
Mm-hmm.
which you wouldn't think that in 2025. That's my point. Do you agree with my stand of morals? Because I've seen many atheists alike not agree.
You're specify it again for me one more time.
Which the example?
Yeah.
So my example is Alexander the Great or any big empire. They any starting empire, they would want to make it bigger. The people of that conquered land will also not have any problems if they're conquered. They would actually be joyful.
Yeah.
They learn the culture, etc.
Yeah. And
Which for like,
we people don't accept that today. That's your
I mean, yeah, if Russia conquered Ukraine, they would be uh well, it's a big difference because Alexander the Great was seen as a hero. But again, if a country today uh did that, it wouldn't be accepted by the people, by the original people.
um I'm still kind of confused by the question. Yeah, we can imagine this bizarro thing where Russia absorbs Ukraine, but it actually, like, economically and whatever, benefits all the people of Ukraine. Yet, we still, even if we somehow could know that that would be the case, people still reject that it's okay to do that. Is that like what you're saying?
I mean, people in today's standards wouldn't do what I was saying, but even if the example is false, again, my point is not that. My point isn't to argue on the example. You know what I mean?
So then what is your point?
My point is that morals change over time. Morals are,
Oh, yeah, I think that that's
not change.
basically true. But I think
Yeah.
that they're grounded in a. I think that they, even though that's the case, I still do kind of think that they're grounded in a basically universal human experience. By the way, I did find that study. Here it is. It might be kind of hard to see, but you can basically see execution rate per 100,000. So it was as high as almost 4 right over London. But then it was as low as 0.14 to 0 up here. I guess that's not Scotland. I don't know what exactly that is up there. Because that's the divide between the two. But yeah, people, when people got away from the monarchy and they didn't really have, because at this time, messages and people could only move as fast as horses. So if you're up here and you're breaking the king's rules or whatever, it's like, well, what's he gonna do? Walk his fat ass all the way over here? So
Yeah, okay. I gave a bad example from me. My bad.
oh no, don't worry about it.
But
And this
yeah,
is actually during the time right before the American Revolution. That's actually crazy. So it would have been way higher in the past. I didn't realize that.
I mean, I think North Korea might have it higher, honestly.
That's why. Yeah, maybe that place is fucked up.
Not I think it's 100% has it higher.
The death penalty was expanded to people who married Jews, lived with gypsies, stole more than 1 shilling, and for heresy. Those are the specific examples.
Something crazy that I was watching a YouTube video about North Korea. If it's up to 6 generations, if your parents or your grandparents did something awful to the North Koreans, like
it's very biblical, actually. It says, "I will punish." What is it? It's either what does the Bible say? I will punish the iniquitudes of the 6th or 7th generation or something like that. I don't remember.
Okay.
It's 7 generations, something like that. I am trying to be funny, but I'm not just trying to be funny. I feel like that's what it says.
I mean, like, it's kind of funny because you see a middle-aged man saying 6 or 7.
Yeah, 6, 7. It's just
Anyway, as I was saying, they would punish up to 6 generations. So if your grandfather did something very bad to, the 6 generations ago emperor, the child would be, that their 6th generation of children would be in a facility and they would basically be executed.
Yeah,
North
that's
and
completely
it's still
fucked
happening.
up. So the Bible says 3rd or 4th generation. So I had a funny idea in my head and I convinced myself, no, yeah, I think the Bible really does say that. And it doesn't say that because we are all, the lesson there is we are all motivated by our biases to say that things are what we think they are. So that's why you need to fact check yourself. Anyways, I think I might have to move on because I think we kind of got to the end of what we were talking about.
Yeah, but you agree with the moral thing?
That it's relativistic? Yeah, basically.
Yeah, because I've seen many people say that morals are...
Because for me, the easiest way to deal with it is I don't think there's such a thing as the good and the bad. There's better and worse.
I think we made it that.
Yeah. And so like I can look at, like I can celebrate in America the civil rights movements that happened in the 50s and 60s while also acknowledging that while those were monumental and important steps, it was still pretty miserable for African Americans to live in the United States, even at that time. So they got more rights, but there was still a huge amount of work to do. And we're better now than we were back then, but we still have a huge amount of work to do.
I mean, America right now is going very bad.
Yeah,
I
I
think
know.
26 days the government is shut down. I mean,
Oh, I'm all for that.
I think Germany is like one of the best countries right now, honestly.
Nah.
I mean, you got
No,
now that
I
I
don't
think
really
of
I don't
Germany,
really
I
have an
see you,
opinion.
I see your haircut, and it reminds me of something.
What does that
You
mean?
should just you should save the beard and keep the mustache, and just remind me of something.
Chat, why did it make it weird at the end there?